Hi everybody, I'm Ryan Shaffer. I'm president of Japan America Society of Washington, D.C. I am neither Ralph nor Boomer, but I get the pleasure of interviewing them along with my colleague and good friend, Deputy Chief of Mission of the Embassy of Japan, Takehiro Shimada. And I can't believe anybody is still here. It's freezing cold, but I appreciate that you are here and enduring it, and I guess I wouldn't be anywhere else either. Got to work from my cheat sheet, but I'd like to introduce everybody on stage, including Deputy Chief of Mission Shimada and myself. Boomer Wells played ball, came up with the Toronto Blue Jays and the Minnesota Twins, and then moved to the Hankyu Braves, where he played for Hankyu from 1983 to 1992, winning the NPB Triple Crown, as well as Most Valuable Player Award, and the first non-Japanese player to win the Triple Crown, and famous and well-known face in Japan. Also have with us Ralph Bryant, who came up with the Los Angeles Dodgers before moving to Kintetsu, as opposed to Nagoya first.
True.
And then to Kintetsu. But Ralph was the Pacific League MVP in 1989 and is a three-time Pacific League home run leader. So super exciting to have both of them with us, and really look forward to interviewing the two of them. If anybody has questions, feel free to think of questions that you might want to ask them, and we'll turn to audience if there's time at the end. But let me turn to DCM Shimada to kick us off. And why don't we move forward on stage? I feel like we're so far back.
Yeah, I do too. That's feel better.
Good afternoon, everybody. I have been a great baseball fan, and to these gentlemen, Boomer-san and Bryant-san is a legend for me. So I was so excited to participate in this program. And also, Lion looks like Brian Harper. So I'm just surrounded by the three famous baseball players. That makes me much happier. By the way, I think there are a great many of us in the room who have dreamed about playing pro baseball like me, but apart from two of you, I don't think any of us have. So let's start there. Tell me about the first time seeing your name on the starting lineup card, and what did it feel like to step onto the field as a pro? Boomer-san.
In Japan or in the States?
Maybe Japan or even the States, whichever.
Well, in the States, it was great. It was a dream come true. You grow up from a little boy all the way up dreaming about being a Major League Baseball player. So when you get that opportunity, it's a great feeling to step into the plate.
How about you, Brian?
I have the same feeling. My favorite team growing up was the Dodgers, by the way. And once I got drafted by the Dodgers, now it was even better feeling that same day to get called up in 1985 and have your name in the lineup start for the very first time. It's a feeling you never forget as a kid, at that young age of 21, 22 years old. So it always stick with you, so getting that first call was exciting.
Right, yeah, wow, that's great. And maybe I should give you another question. Boomer-san, you started in 81 with the Blue Jays, before moving to the Twins in 82, and then to the Hankyu Braves in 83. So 3 countries in 3 years. Ralph-san, you were hired by Chunichi Dragons in 1988 and wound up actually playing for Kintetsu Buffaloes. Talk to us about the moment when you decided to play professionally in Japan. Had you ever thought about it? Did it come as a surprise? And what did it take to make that decision?
Well, I didn't have a choice in my decision. I thought that I was too young to go to Japan and play baseball, because before they always said that the older players in the States went to Japan and get one last paycheck and then they were through playing. And after I was sold to Japan, I didn't want to go because I felt I was too young and I wasn't ready to stop playing baseball at the time. So I didn't have a choice, but once I got to Japan and learned how everything was, and baseball to me is baseball anywhere you play. I always have fun. So I had fun and I just kept playing, and it didn't matter where I played as long as I played.
Well, it came unexpected for me. In 1988, when the JASWDC Dragon came to spring training with the Dodgers in Vero Beach, we had an exhibition game, played against those guys, did pretty good. But my expectation was never to come to Japan at that time. I wasn't thinking that way. So about a couple of days later, the JASWDC Dragon purchased my contract from the Dodgers. And I ended up going to Japan. They first told me I didn't have to go. I said, well, you know, they wanted me, so I'm going to take a chance to go to Japan to play. And I got to Japan, but as the rule stated at the time, you only had 2 foreign players. I was the 3rd player. So I had to go to the farm team and then play on the farm team for like a month, which helped me adjust to Japanese style baseball. So I think that helped me out a lot. Not knowing I would get traded within a month to the Kintetsu Buffalo. And that's how I ended up with the Buffalo. And from the very first day I get to the Buffalo, I'm in the starting lineup. If there's no waste of time, hey, you gotta go get with it, gotta go get it right now. And you'll start playing for a pennant. And it was exciting going down the stretch in that season, in each season. It was a very exciting time of baseball in Japan.
I mean, I'm just interested in when you step off the airplane in Japan for the first time. You know, what are your impressions? What are you thinking about? What does it look like to you? I mean, I know what it looks. I've done it too, but what did you think?
It was like I was Bon Jovi or somebody. I had never taken that many pictures in my life. I mean, it was photographs and photographs. It was photographers everywhere, and you stop and you're taking a picture here, turn this way, you're taking a picture there, and they photographed me all the way out of the airport into the taxi, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be interesting. So right then I was like, okay, I like this. I like being the center of attention. So.
Well, my situation was a little different. I was going to Nagoya, and no one really knew I was coming to Japan. Only way I could start getting recognition was when I got traded to the Buffaloes. And that's when we started winning in a couple home run. Also, like Boomer said, then the photographs come. Everybody started taking pictures everywhere you go. And they wanted autographs. So it was different from being in the States, but also exciting at the same time. And it just, you learn a lot when you have a different culture to deal with. And you learn a lot of different things, how to make an adjustment. And if you make those adjustments, then you'll be better off. And so I think we learned to do that very well.
You're talking about adjustments in the game or adjustments in everyday life culture?
Both the culture and the game. It was not just one, you know, you got to do both at the same time. A lot of people can't understand why they practice so much, why they have long drills all the time. But for me, it's like tuning your skills. You know, you got to work on your skill. You got to keep tuning your craft. Like every man got to work on his craft. You got to keep working on your craft, and they did that all the time in Japan.
So, on the regular life side of cultural adjustments, any first mistakes you made? I mean, funny times you put your foot in it, did something dumb?
No, my biggest thing when I played in Japan was I had this this habit of when something didn't make sense to me, I'd always ask why. Why should I do that? Or why? How do I gain from that? And I would always, my coaches would say, okay, do this or do that, and I'd think about it, and I'm like, why? And they'd be like, what? Why? Because everybody else is doing it. I'm like, but look at me, I can't do that. so they always would get on me about asking why, because I wanted to understand the theory behind that, because I always train to the point of what would better me as a hitter, as a player. And then when they would tell me something weird to do, not thinking that this is the way they do it over here and this might help me, I'd run it through my mind first and I'd be like, okay, but I don't see how it's gonna make me better. And I'd be like, why? They'd be like, because everybody else do it, don't ask why. So I eventually learned how to just go, hi, okay, hi, and do it.
Yeah, it's kind of the same. You have to pace yourself. You come in, you try to jump right in and do everything they do, you're not gonna make it. You just gotta pace yourself at your own speed and take you work yourself way up. Because in America, we never train that way. You know, our training is totally different when they train in Japan. If you try to come in and just jump right in and do everything, you're gonna tire real quick, very quickly. So you have to pace yourself.
I used to have this thing. I used to say, I'm getting in shape in the States, because I would come home after the season and work out and do everything that works out. And they would be like, well, you gonna be ready for Japan? I'm like, no, I'm getting in shape to get in shape once I get in Japan, because no matter what kind of shape you in over here, once you get to Japan and start doing their drills, then you realize I wasn't really in shape. So you get in shape to get in shape.
Speaking of the adjustment of the baseball, Japanese baseball thinks highly of the way of small baseball, in which the sacrifice bunt and sacrifice fly is very important in terms of the strategy by the manager. But as you guys, you are home run batters and clutch hitters, do you feel that small baseball is a kind of weird phenomena for you to adjust yourself, and is kind of an element of small baseball affect your way of playing baseball in Japan?
I didn't have a trouble with it because I never had to bunt. So it was all right with me.
Small baseball. The guys, as far as like base to base, just get the first guy on, they burn the second. That's something I can never understand. If you're gonna waste it out, why don't you just put hit and run on? If you try to get the guy from first to third, that make it easier. And so, but as for small baseball, they did some things that are a little small. But we have some guys here that hit a lot of home runs too. So, once you start getting the guys on base and you get them in position, that don't mean you hit a home run all the time. They give you a better chance to get that guy in for a run. So sometimes that bunt, which they lose, they would give up an out just to move a guy to the second base, and that I couldn't understand too much.
Do you think you're better players for going to Japan?
I beg your pardon?
Do you think you were better players because you went to Japan?
I think it made me a better hitter. And if you notice, the players that went to Japan, even if they weren't successful in Japan, when they came back to the States, they were much better hitters. You see a lot of different pitchers, and the different training and all the hitting you do and stuff. So it made me a better player. Yes, it made me definitely a better hitter.
Yes, I agree 100%. It made me a much better player going to Japan, and just the way we train and practice, just get in there and practice. I mean, just you can hit forever. It doesn't matter. You know, as long as you want to hit, they were somebody that throw the ball to you, no matter how long you want to go. If not, you go to the batting cage. But it gives you a understanding, a deep understanding. Hey, this is the thing you got to learn, because in Japan you just didn't see one or two pitches. You saw a plethora of forkballs, sliders. Shoot those. Everything they could think to throw at you, you saw it. So when the guy come back over here, that's to surprise him. You know, when you see that kind of pitching in Japan, because they can throw that one or two forkball, you think you get a fastball, you might get a curveball, you might get a slider. So it's never a certain pitch you have to look at the same time, because it's always something you have to look at playing in Japan. Always different, always different.
That's like when I first got over there, I had never heard of a shuto. So it had rained out of practice, and we were practicing indoor. And we had a pitcher named Imai that had the best shuto ever in Japan. And he was throwing in the bullpen, and I like to stand up and see the different pitches, so I'm standing up at the plate, you know, timing his pitches, just watching him pitch. And the catcher tell me, Boomer, bag up, because he's getting ready to throw a shuto. I go, what? He was getting ready to throw a shuto, so bag up. So I bagged away from the plate. He go back up a little more. Like, okay, what is this shuto? So he throws his shuto, and this thing runs about that far. It just go whop, and I'm like, what? No way he did that. So that had to be a mistake. He had to misgrip the ball. So he go, no, that's his pitch. I go, tell him to throw it again. And the same thing. I go, tell him to throw it again. And the same thing. And I'm like, oh man, so now my baseball mind is working. Like, okay, you get 2 strikes on a hitter, and you start that pitch outside, and it breaks back across the plate like a slider from a left-hander, and he can't hit that. And they were like, nah, Japanese hitters will hit that. And I'm like, what? No man alive can hit that. And they go, nah, Japanese hitters will hit that. I'm like, okay. I never understood that shuto. I used to, no one threw it like my teammate. And I'm glad they did, because I don't know how hitting against that I don't get that one. I don't know how they grip the ball.
But I found that Yamada threw a very good sinker, like a shooter.
Yamada-san. Yeah, Yamada-san could throw everything. I used to love to play defense behind Yamada-san, because in Japan the game is longer than usual that you used to playing. But when Yamada-san pitched, it was a short game, because he'd throw the ball and he want it back. He'd throw it and he want it back. And our catcher would be begging for a strike on a pitch that just missed, and he'd be like, give me the ball. You know, bring it back. So it was nice play behind Yamada-san.
And Bryant-san's case, maybe Suzuki-san is a very good southpaw. How was the feeling to play behind him?
Southpaw?
Suzuki Keiji, he's a good southpaw.
Oh, the manager?
Yeah, the pitcher.
Oh, Suzuki Keiji, I don't know much. He was a manager. He was my manager.
That was the Ogi, isn't it?
Yeah, he was my manager. Suzuki Keiji was my manager for 1 year.
All right. So, do you have any very memorable sort of impressive pitcher you have ever played with?
I played against him. But yeah, he was gone when you.
Yeah, he was gone when I got there. He wasn't there when I got there.
I played against him. He used to challenge you. That's what I used to like about him. He was an old man, but he still could throw the ball good. But he used to challenge you, and you know, he was old. And he still has some pretty good pop on the ball, but I was a young man, he was an old man. He's not going to throw the ball past me. But I used to admire him for challenging you. He didn't try to pitch around you, he came at you. So I don't know what kind of manager he was. Was he that kind of manager where he just wanted you to go out? and do your thing.
Ryan, answer the question, Ryan.
Toughest pitchers you've ever faced in Japan and in the U.S.?
The toughest pitcher I ever faced, period, for 5 innings was Murata for Lotte for 5 innings. And he was an old guy, had Tommy John surgery and stuff, but for 5 innings, he was tough. So they'd leave him in too long, and after 5 innings, he started getting tired, and then you wear him out after 5 innings. But for 5 innings, he was the toughest pitcher in Japan.
Well, I guess Watanabe from Cebu, the guy who gave me the most trouble, but a whole lot of guys gave me trouble. There was not just one guy, there's a lot of guys. But as far as the major league, I guess facing Nolan Ryan was the toughest challenge I ever faced, in America, about facing Nolan Ryan, because he was that awesome. He was just that good as a pitcher. So those are the 2 guys I can think of right about now.
I remember that when the Bryant hit the home run, 4 home runs in a row. One of them was Watanabe, and I remember that his jaw was just dropped.
That was the special moment I finally got him. That's the one moment I finally put my stamp on it. Other than that, he used to eat me alive, man. So that one payback was the best payback.
Yanagita, I was talking to you about that earlier. They kept him, Kintetsu kept him just to pitch to me. Regardless, they bring him in, he'd pitch to me, he'd get me out, and one time it was so bad that was my first year over there. I'd never seen it, he was just all kind of motion and slow sliders, and I couldn't hit him. So my last time batting against him that year, I was walking up to the plate, and they changed and put Yanagita in the game. And I looked at Waiter-san, and I did like this, like, I'm gonna hit left-handed against him. He was like, go on. So I hit left-handed against him and hit a line drive to the second baseman. And after that year, I just, made sure I adjusted to him. I made sure that he wasn't gonna get me out like that again. And the next year, I hit him so much that Kintetsu released him. I guess they go, well, you can't get Boomer out, so we're gonna let you go.
Did you 2 know each other when you were in Japan?
Who, Ralph?
Yeah.
I knew Ralph ever since he was in junior high school. I played college baseball with his brother for 4 years, and I used to go over to his house all the time. So, I knew him before he came to Japan. So when I look up and see him in Japan, I go, that's my homeboy.
Yeah, I've been knowing Boomer for a long time. Yeah, I was surprised to see. I had no idea where I knew he played professional baseball, but I had no idea he was in Japan the time I arrived in Japan in 1980 and saw him over there. I was very surprised, but also happy to see him. And he also told me a bunch of crap while I was out there too.
When we played against each other, we'd always have fun. We'd be laughing. We had this one pitcher on my team. He was our stopper, believe it or not. He couldn't get Ralph out. And we changed pitchers, and he'd be standing on the mound, and Ralph would be standing in the on-deck circle, and they knew that I called him homeboy, and he'd be standing on the mound, he'd look at me and go, Boomer, homeboy. And I'd tell Ralph, I'd be looking at him, and I'd holler something at him, I'd go, whatever you do, don't hit it to me, hit it somewhere else. And he'd be like, and sure enough, there it goes. How many home runs you had off of him? 18? Had 18 home runs off of one pitcher.
That's a lot.
I'm like, he couldn't get him, and it's bad when the pitcher knows he can't get him out. And he's a stopper. He come in, he be like, I'm like, if you don't think you can get him out, who?
Shall we ask some questions from the audience?
Well, I think we'll have a chance with the audience, I think, afterwards,
okay.
And we're running out of time. And I know I have one last question that I'd like to ask. And that is, I know you were talking to Yuto before, and Yuto, 13 years old, aspiring baseball player. But what advice would you have for young players, somebody Yuto's age, but maybe somebody who's facing the same decision that you were faced with, the opportunity to play in Japan? What would your advice be?
My first advice would be follow your dream, young man. Stick with it. Give it all you got. You get up until the end, until you got no more to give. Give it all you got. That's my best advice. No matter what someone say, how bad things may get, you still got to fight through it each and every day. If that's what you want to do and you want to be that successful, it may not come the way you want it, but don't give up on it. You make it happen the way you want it. All right?
And my advice is the same as his, but my advice, the main thing to remember is that to have fun. It's a game. So remember to have fun. If you're having fun, you're going to give it your best. Anything you enjoy doing, you're going to give it your best. So remember to have fun. Find a way to have fun doing it. The training and all of that would be much easier if you're having fun.
Well, it's extremely cold up here, so I know it's extremely cold down there too. I want to thank all of you for being here. Thank DCM Shimada for kindly helping to conduct this interview with me. And it's an honor for me to be able to do this second time with Ralph. And funny thing is that when Ralph was playing his first start as a Dodger at Dodger Stadium in 1984, 85, just by total coincidence, I was there, and I remember he hit a triple, and I thought I gotta follow this guy, I gotta remember this guy, and I always did. And of course, then paths led both of us to Japan, and it's a thrill and an honor to be up here on stage interviewing him. And anyway, I just wanted to thank Boomer Wells and Ralph Bryant so much for being here. It's a privilege and an honor, and glad to have you in DC.
Good to see you again. Thank you again for having me, man.
It's my pleasure.